Hi guys. So, wow, we're almost done with Trump's presidency. We're in like the final 48 hours. It is, what is it, Monday right now while I do this reading. I personally, it's just like every hour that passes, it's just like stress is just like melting off of me. Like I know it's not all perfect just because he's gone, but just seeing him go, oh my gosh, it feels great. And that we got through that weekend without any serious violence or problems is such a great feeling. He has remained fairly quiet. Yeah, a lot of those plans have been thwarted. Oh, I have these cards here from my last read because I want to read on this devil card here. Because these two cards kind of stood out to me after that reading. Like this card, this King of Pentacles, is like Trump on the surface, still as, you know, quote, president, even though he has to be pretty quiet now. And he's not allowed on most social media, but I feel like Putin is like superimposed kind of above him in this. And that also he is one of the generators of this hatred that we saw play out in this country, not only on January 6th, but in other sort of terror attacks that were planned and thwarted. But I want to know sort of the future of this. I want to know what's going to happen. You know, this, of course, representing that sort of mind control that we were talking about, like the people's brains are just tapped into something like just robotic and machinery about this particular devil in this card, for me right now anyway, which, you know, is like the internet. It's like these bots and this fake stuff and the memes and the fake people on the dark web. I don't know, is that what, do they still call it the dark web? But you know what I mean, like these dark places in the internet where they have these conversations and white supremacy and anti-Semitism and fascism and all this crazy stuff. So let's clear these cards and just look at that. So let's do this. Interesting that I just happened to flip this and there's this Hermit card here. I love the Hermit card. This could be already telling us people are looking within and wondering the things I think that we would hope people would be wondering, like, did I fall into a disinformation trap? I think the most incredible thing about the disinformation trap is how vast and huge it is. Because, you know, you've got them on YouTube, you've got them, you get pulled in on Twitter, now they're on Parler. And it's a lot of people like Rudy Giuliani, like, well, he's a lawyer. He wouldn't lie, right? I mean, I know it's hard to believe it, but people trust these people. I mean, even my own sister who voted doesn't like Trump, but she said to me, well, Trump doesn't wear a mask, so I don't think I need to wear a mask because he's the president. Like, and you're just like, wow, like people just think if somebody has reached that high level, then they're honest. And you have Fox News, like, you know, people would think, it's so funny to me about Fox News because like a Sean Hannity is like posing as a news anchor and he's really, he's just a talk show host and his talk show is all about attacking other media and calling it fake when he's actually literally fake. He's a fake newscaster with like fake headlines. We're so screwed up in this country. Anyway, the Hermit gives me hope that there are people looking within and like, I saw such a good interview today. It was this guy who sort of studies all this Q stuff and like talking about how difficult it is to give up when you've already put like years of your life into it and you've lost like your family, your job, that sort of thing. But people looking inside, I just feel like that is happening. There were so many promises that have never panned out and they put so much faith into it. I don't know why they crave all these mass arrests of Democrats, but it's because they've heard that Democrats have done all these terrible things that it's all just false and fake, and it seems really obvious to us, like I said, that Putin at the top generating all of this to try to get his guy back in office again, Trump. I mean, is it a mystery that he wants Trump to stay in office and that he put him there? No. Anyway, so let's see what else we get as I shuffle here. Question being, what will come of sort of mind control generated rage, chaos and confusion and anger that we've seen play out on the world stage lately? What will come of this? Will it dissipate? Will it disappear? Is it already happening? Or will it grow? Are we going to have people jumping on this and building upon it? Let's see what we get. Where will the hate go? Will it disappear or will it grow? That's the question. Okay, so here's what I get on that. I think it's really interesting. So I mean, couldn't be more just exact. This devil card covered by the strength card. And I was actually thinking this as I was shuffling. I was thinking, well, right now, a lot of, maybe we're just not seeing it because there is so much military and, you know, sort of strength out there covering it. And so that's what I got. So here we have, it's, you know, it's possible maybe not to like take a total sigh of relief yet, because it seems like the weekend went well or whatever, because a lot of this rage is just being stifled by this strength. National Guard and others really stopping it from expressing right now. And I mean, that's great that that strength is there. And I guess, you know, as opposed to, you know, I think, you know, I hope this stays around for a while at all the capitals or, you know, in all the cities. Like, at least now, that's kind of a good thing to consider. At least now this exists. And before that January 6th, it really didn't, which is why January 6th happened. This is going to be we're going to be more protected because here at this star card at the top, which for me feels like this new administration, and, you know, the star card, it actually came up in my last read also, and I was saying, like, keep your eye on the prize. And one of the viewers of the channel, I can't think of his name right now, but he was mentioning, sorry about that, but he mentioned how Martin Luther King Jr. would sort of, I don't know if he would say that phrase or it's associated with his vision for the future. By the way, today when I recorded this is Martin Luther King Jr. Day. So how cool that he came up here in reference to this star card, because he gave us a vision of a better, more united future that we're all still reaching for now and hopefully getting closer to. So thank you to him for being a shining star for so many, paving a vision of a better world for us to reach for. And then I guess that also even kind of is touched upon in the Bible. I can't remember the exact phrasing. It's not the same phrase, but so I see it and feel it here as we've gotten to where we are, where we have Trump leaving, we have Biden coming in and Kamala, we have the Senate. I mean, these things, it seems like maybe we didn't feel like we won by the margins we would have hoped for. It was too close, but we did get there. And that star, that sort of, you know, that the star in the sky isn't always, you know, there's sort of these tiny sparkles in the sky, but, you know, just keep focusing on that hope. And it's like striving for our higher selves, striving for the best in humanity, And that is what we're doing as a collective. We are getting there. And that's what's at the surface. And that's such a peaceful card to have there. And it's so interesting, this card, how it's been coming up in my reads so much, and it's in for like months. And now it's at the surface. It's like I was always seeing it coming, and now it's here, which is so cool. It's like, I think this is basically saying the majority of us really want this sort of peace and kindness. So that's a really positive card to have at the surface of this read. This is the stronger pull. That's what it is, yeah. But the stars sort of, I guess the moon pulls the tides. But do the stars pull the tides also? I don't know. I'm sort of like getting that. Like the tide is being pulled to a higher hope for mankind, a higher idea of who we can be as humans and humanity. And so that's, you know, what we're aspiring to is that hope and peace and a better society. And, you know, we have pulled ourselves up from so much guck with Trump and all of that. But we like did it. We like climbed out of this mud, and we got to a place where we're now bringing in a new and better, you know, administration and government. So that's great. And this Ace of Swords at the base, like these are great cards to have above this Devil card, because this is the sword of truth. You know, beneath the surface is sort of like beneath your consciousness. This is like the subconscious collective mind is the truth. We have the truth on the side of healing these lies. The truth is the antidote to these lies. And the truth, sword of truth, is there, and like often what's beneath will often be rising. So, which is actually what I wanted to read on this Devil card, which was in that position in my last read. I do feel that's, you know, two strong forces there for healing and growing and just overcoming that hatred. The truth is there, and I think we're going to see a lot more of it coming out. It's here right now. They're still not letting it all out, but we're going to see more of this sort of truth. It's there. It's sort of like waiting to be seen. I do think that. So that's great. You know, a lot of these investigations or maybe even like indictments that are going to come out, like that's going to help. And then the Sun card, another really positive card. And this is just like shining the light of truth on everything, especially with this Ace of Swords here. And it's actually here in the recent past. So I feel like it's already happening, you know? And it's already started to dissipate some of this. I really believe that. It's like the light shining on the darkness. This could have even been that thing, that horrible day that shined a light for a lot of people on how dangerous and crazy, you know, the lies, conspiracy theories. It could have shined a light. I also think of, I'm sure a lot of you guys follow Linda G, Comanche Psychic, and she had an amazing post the other day. And her guides, she had a dream, and her guide said something like, the new day has begun, or something really inspiring, or like it's over, or something, you know, like meaning it's time for the new to and like, you know, the sun being the rising of a new day. It's like we're there. It's already begun. And then moving forward, we do have a Four of Pentacles. This is sort of a card of like holding. It can be sort of a card of like greed, and sort of the card they're sort of like holding tightly to these pentacles. So there are going to be some people who still hold tight to their beliefs. And I also see this definitely as people who are going to take advantage of that because they're greedy and they want to make money off of these believers. So that's still going to be there. But I feel a 4. It's like, if you think of on a scale of 1 to 10, I think we're moving forward at a 4. I think. With all these cards, I think, and even the strength, it's like, it will lessen. This Page of Cups upside down, I feel this to be, and this is sort of where we are right now, This sort of brings me to almost representing conspiracy theories, okay? And it's upside down, which gives me a feeling of, well, because it's sort of immature and also theatrical, which I think a lot of that stuff is. And even though it tries to be very serious, you know, and the absurdity, that sort of fish coming out of a cup, it's like there's an absurdity to it. It's upside down. And that tells me that I think a lot of it is being deleted and erased. You know what I mean? I feel like a lot of this stuff just literally just being like deleted everywhere. Take it off, take it off, take it off. You know, this could even be like people, young people, like people are feeling a little embarrassed about their posts and deleting them. It just feels like a clearing of a lot of that. And yeah, it's like, because there's an embarrassment to it at this point. When nothing pans out the way your supposed inside leader says, it's like, it's embarrassing. People are like going through and deleting their social media comments and stuff. Like they don't want to be any part of it. It's interesting. Nine of Swords. Now this would be a card of anxiety and sleepless nights. And I see it upside down. That would be like an alleviation of anxiety. And this took me to this, and like that feeling I was saying where I feel an alleviation of anxiety right now. I feel like there really is not, I mean, yes, Trump's leaving, but this is like coming in. It's like here, and it's like, whether you can try to hold on to this stuff, people are attracted to it, they try to hold on, but it's like getting harder and harder to be in fear and darkness. And people are just like, it's almost, yeah, deleting their stuff, and just like, for some reason they wake up and they're like not so scared or not so angry. And I think one thing I have learned is that it really is, people are like legit like afraid because of these things that they've been told about like the Democrats, or, you know, I don't even want to like repeat their narratives. But it's crazy hearing a lot of these people talk that they like, but it's like they're unable to like stay grounded into the fear anymore. I just feel it's alleviating. And it's kind of the kind of thing where they might just like kind of forget to be angry one day or like they're checking in a little bit less. They're less like needy of that fire and rage. The High Priestess, I feel this very much to be like, okay, you know how there's like a spiritual side to a lot of this stuff that drew people in, that ended up being like false. It was like a false spirituality that just was like a dark rabbit hole kind of thing, but they tried to use people's spirituality. And the High Priestess being a very spiritual card. Something, I feel this to be potentially people can take their spirituality and put it into something else. You know, they got pulled in as a trick, and they're not going to stop being spiritual people, but they just need to direct it somewhere else. And I feel there's a potential for that in this card. This is the hopes and fears position. So the hope would be then that they can maybe just like get involved in yoga or meditation or other very interesting spiritual, you know, circles and arenas and areas that you can find that are like true and real spirituality and not this false cult. And that's the dark side of it that I feel also in this card, is the cult aspect. You know, when a cult always has a spiritual aspect to it. And so then that would be like sort of the dark side of it, is people staying so trapped in it because of faith. So it's sort of like both potentials are there in that card. But I have a great ending here. I mean, it makes me so happy. The first card I got is this Three of Pentacles, and I immediately thought they're gonna start teaching in schools. This Three of Pentacles is like building and planning, and it's like teamwork and crafting something. And I just immediately thought, you know, people talk about like deprogramming, or like, you know, even just early on teaching, what is it, like internet intelligence and like trust. And I remember I was I saw someone who was chatting in some chat the other day saying that they're a teacher in elementary school, and they're already starting to do this in the schools because the kids are getting targeted with these conspiracy theories. So they're learning early now, you know, being able to understand and only use like trusted sources and that sort of thing. Just be able to navigate the internet with more awareness of information and how to know the difference. So that's so interesting, and that's here. I would also bet there will be some kind of deprogramming course or materials put together by experts so people can access or share that with loved ones who have fallen into this, who want to help. And I love the cards that I got it with, this Six of Cups here. This is just like the card of like being more like sweet and neighborly, like in the past. Like we're gonna get back to like, it's like that simpler time. And I feel like this is so also like Joe Biden, like his personality. And so he'll help us just, I think, get there. It's also a card of reuniting with old friends and family. So that seems like a nice card to have here as well. But we're all just, you know, just ready to just be like more decent people and friendly and kind. This Wheel of Fortune also is a very powerful card. Like maybe it was just like really sort of destined for us to reach this higher level of intelligence that we're talking about here, to move forward into like a new time. I mean, that sort of new age and a new time. And we needed to see this. And, you know, of course, you know, if we're reading on this devil here and it's the Wheel of Fortune, it's like, I think that the time is like sort of over for this devil to have, at least for now, to have like risen to such heights. It's a Wheel of Fortune. So if the hatred reached this height, it's like, it'll go down now. So that's great. And then Justice at the bottom, because as justice starts to be served little by little, that is definitely going to add to our intelligence on all of this, to our understanding, and to people being able to like wake up. You can see how that Justice card and that Ace of Swords, the Sword of Truth, are both just beneath the surface of things here in this reading, and I think connected very much. Like our eyes will be opening more and more with things that are just beneath the surface, ready to go, ready to come out. So I just think that's great. I also see right here is okay, so Five of Pentacles I often see as my, you know, the pandemic and what we're dealing with people, so many people sick, and also really needing money. And this Ace of Pentacles being payments. Payments are coming. And that is really gonna help a lot of these people. Like, talk about alleviation from anxiety, right? It's like, it's just gonna really ease anxiety out there. And people might not, you know, feel the need to, you know, when you're a little more comfortable, you don't really need to like join militias, and like, you're just kind of feel a little better about things. Like, maybe this isn't so bad. You know, people are gonna appreciate that. I think I've even heard it might even come like once, we might even get like repeating payments until this thing ends. People's small businesses, it's like people are gonna appreciate what's coming. I think we're gonna raise the minimum wage, new jobs, that sort of thing. I've definitely heard people can get busy with more positive things in life that will just take them away from this need for that kind of negative community. This Four of Cups, though, I do see this is a resistance to whatever's being offered to you. So let's say these things are being offered. No, I don't want it. This Page of Rods, just like an immaturity, and this Death really reminds me, don't they carry around flags that kind of look like this death guy? And like, there are people who are still going to be like attracted to it. They're not going to want to change. They're not going to want to grow. They like their like Page of Rods, like they like their sort of immature passions, or whatever their passions of this like information, these narratives, and they're still gonna keep they still like this idea of ending, you know, the government and that sort of thing, anti-government stuff. I do feel then we also get this Queen of Cups and this Fool card. I feel It might be a while off, but Kamala and this Fool card is sort of like a new energy coming in. A new feminine, like more motherly kind of energy. You know, there's something so toxic there's that toxic masculinity that you see. I mean, when you look, whether you're looking at the guys or the women, like that force, we're gonna force, you know, we're gonna smash in these windows and we're gonna force you to this or that, and just like, ugh, it's so dark. But this feels like a new sort of, we need more of this motherly heart. You see that like cup right in her heart center. I honestly feel that like having a woman vice president is going to like warm people's hearts in ways that they don't consciously realize. I'm also now thinking of Dr. Jill Biden, our new First Lady. She is a teacher, a professor, so maybe she will be heading up some of the new educational programs and materials to help combat these problems for a better future. That Fool card being something brand new. There's just like a healing energy to her that just makes you feel safe and warm. So I feel like that also, and that Fool card being like the new energy that's coming in. A lot of people talk about that sort of more balanced future with the divine masculine, the divine feminine coming in. Like that brings me sort of to that card. That is going to be like more of a healing and balanced sort of society. So that's kind of cool. So I hope you guys enjoyed that read. I thought that was pretty cool to see where that's going. And I also meant to read on the inauguration. I might do that next. Hopefully I can get it out before the actual inauguration. But I love to hear your hits and intuitions on either my cards or on your own readings. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye.